Rock and roll. Welcome back to the guitar shop. Thanks for swinging by the guitar shop. Today we're gonna restring this USA Jackson. Super sweet guitar. They call this finish Erie Des. I have one that's like it, but mine's just kind of a solid blood red, but it's a Japanese model, not a USA. So I'll say again, I'm a little jealous about this guitar. Kind of wish I had one of these in my collection. As always, start by cleaning the guitar real nice while the strings are off. This ebony's kind of thirsty, but it's clean. Thirsty but clean. My understanding is this is a pre-Fender guitar. Possibly, I remember a 93. I should pay better attention when people tell me stuff like that. Just got finished shooting a rewire video on this guitar. I don't know which of these videos is going to go up first. I installed that Duncan. Well, it was already set in the body. I just changed out the two potentiometers and wired it all up. So if you got wiring questions, you may want to look at that. I think I did a little better job of explaining what I was doing on this one. Beautiful guitar. See a little bit of wear play marks on it, but not too bad. So when you tighten these Floyd Rose string locks, I advise that you always tighten them like this, with the short end of the torque arm. Resist temptation to go and give it a little extra tight that way. You can crack those little blocks that are in there. See, bump this camera down just a hair, get a better view of that. So these little blocks is what I'm talking about. I always advise to tighten it with the Allen wrench like this. Get it as tight as you can. White knuckle tight with that short arm. And while you got the strings off, it's the perfect time to detail it. Make sure you got everything clean. Now I know there's a lot of people on YouTube here that advise you to put something under the bridge so that you don't have to keep pushing it down like this and holding it up while you tighten it. And probably their method does save some time on the tuning, but I'm just deathly afraid of scratching a customer's guitar, especially a guitar as nice as this one. I can't afford to replace it for him. I guess technically it's probably a vintage USA Jackson. It's in really good condition. I don't know where I'd find another one to replace it with. One of the modern day post-Fender Jacksons, probably not really the same thing. Can't say I've messed with too many USA Jacksons since the whole buyout. Oh, see that? I went too far down to the bottom of the post. I like that number of wraps, but it's not good. It's gonna bottom out on the post. Put pressure. Let's just back this off just a hair. That count may not be quite as good, but I do like that it's so close to the bottom without touching the bottom. And since this is a lock nut guitar, it's not going to cause any problems. String wrap count, throw it out the window as soon as we lock it down. So on this knot, which is unnecessary, but we're going to do it anyway, bring it into the mark that you made, come around the post backwards, go underneath the part you're keeping, push the part you're keeping to the front, and tie the knot. It's on the totally wrong side of the post for the camera. That camera can see it, but it doesn't resolve it too well. This camera could see the backside of where that was happening, I suppose. Camera location is probably better for a 3-in-3 headstock. That sucker's going to time out after 5 minutes. Go ahead and stop, then restart. So I like to figure which post I'm going to. Grab about 3 finger widths past the correct post of extra slack. Then I tie it backwards on this for you. Push it into the hole up to the knot. Come around the post backwards. Go underneath the part of the string you're keeping. And pull the part of the string that you're keeping to the front of the hole. Pick up and push down, and it ties the knot. Have a little slack in there. While it's still loose, you can tighten that up. One more time. About 3 fingers worth of slack in the hole up to the mark, around the post backwards, underneath. Keep it tight to the post. Then while you pull the string to the front of the post, or to the front of the hole, pull it forward, pick up, push down, tie that knot. That knot's completely unnecessary on a Floyd Rose where you got a lock nut. But I always try to do the best work I know how. And I feel like tying that knot onto the treble strings is the best I know how. Alright, now we just got to tune her up. And today I have a camera pointing at the strobe. It's going to time out too, but I think it's going to take half an hour. We'll be done well before half an hour, even at my real-time slow speed where I'm not speeding things up. For you, this will be sped up. One of my tricks to get around not putting the thing underneath the bar is I tune for speed. Then once you get close, stretch the strings. Now we should be getting close. I love my old analog strobe tuner. You can't beat the accuracy, but it's kind of slow on the pitch detection. I have compared several of the new digital strobe emulator things. Some of them from this company, some of them from other companies. They get really close. Probably be hard pressed to tell the difference by listening. But when you plug the guitar that was intonated on the strobe emulator into this analog strobe, it does frequently say it's close, but not dead in tune. Oh, can't plug into a strobe and amp at the same time, or I can if I plug into the strobe. Oh, what happened to the camera? I didn't tell you to quit recording. Give them one more stretch. Heck, why not, huh? Well, I'm satisfied it moved little enough that we're safe locking this sucker down. Always want to get absolutely all the stretch out of the strings before you lock this nut. Frequently the locking action here does a little damage to the string there under where it's locked. It's not something that'll be a problem under playing circumstances, but if you have to unlock it, then retune it, it may cause problems then. Well, I should quit while I'm ahead. I'm tired and I'm not warm. But there you go. Restring Floyd Rose one more time. How many of these can I do? Oh, I can do a ton of them. So, I don't know. Bring me another one. Rock and roll, man. Or rock and roll, y'all. So, thanks for swinging by the guitar shop. I appreciate you coming by and watching me work. Hopefully you learned something from some of this. If not, then at least hopefully you're entertained. And I do appreciate you watching, and feel free to comment about how bad I shred at the end of the day or whatever. And yeah, catch you next time. Rock and roll.